Okay, we're good to go.
Sure. All right. So we all gather up in here to discuss one of the deals we got on our table, which is a 22-unit apartment complex in Texas. I'm not going to be talking too much about this deal. The reason is like I kind of got most of my first circle of people, who does the business in the real estate. And I did have a chance to talk to them over the phone. I sent people pitch deck and the finances. So my idea, basically at this time, give a time to my partners, which is Roman Kirzin, Sergio, Tim, to speak a little bit more about this deal because I already did say to the people what happening, what kind of the deal, I mean, broad numbers. And I really want to introduce whoever was speaking, whoever is like on the Zoom to my partners as well, because I don't want like this information just becoming from me. So I want like other people's words about the deal. So please, Roman, proceed. Team, go ahead. And
All right.
Sergio as well as with us, right?
Okay. Yeah, Sergio
Oh
is
yeah, I
present.
see. He's in the silent mode, the
Yeah.
silent, but
All right. So let me.
with a great smile.
No problem. So let me share the screen of formal presentation. I guess few of you already had that presentation, and Alex distributed it before, but it's a different
Well,
thing. All
I
right.
gave you food.
Excuse me. All right. Let's start. So we presenting today the deal that we are having under contract since June of this year, and we pursuing this to be closed somewhere in mid October if everything goes well. First of all, thank you very much for everyone to take your time and listen to what we have to say. So before we can proceed, I would like to do some legal stuff. We're not soliciting anything. We're not financial advisors. We're not tax advisors. Everyone should do their own due diligence, and they have to carefully invest in and do your own researches. If this deal is not right fit for you, I have no problems. You should feel free to tell it, but it doesn't change anything. It might be another deals and another deals and another deals. We're basically looking for strong partnership, and that's what we're always looking for. So a little bit about us. I personally started doing full-time real estate investment in 2005. I'm local. I'm local in New York, living in New York in Queens. My properties that I started with were in Philadelphia. At the time that I was managing about 50 units in Philadelphia, I realized that it's not sustainable because it's not a business, it's a job. And in 2017 and 2018, we can transfer to multifamilies. And I'm doing nothing but multifamily investment as a syndicator. The team that we have for this particular uh, property collectively done more than 15 deals together and separately. Important point for any investors, we never lost investors' money. 2 out of 4, and today is 3 out of 4, including Alex, is a full-time real estate professionals. We specialize in mid-sized properties because we feel comfortable in that area. Uh, Personally, I'm qualified to be a sponsor for any loan made by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. In any given times, we're holding about between 100 to 120 units. It doesn't mean that it's always 120. It fluctuates based on conditions and based on our actions and in other interest of in other investors. Uh, as you can see here, that's on the left-hand side, that's me. I have more than 20 years experience as a realtor. I am having a real estate license in Pennsylvania, professional syndicators, and I am good at underwriting and putting deal together. My partners Inessa, she's not today. She cannot attend today because she still works full time and 9 to 5, and sometimes it's 9 to 9. And I will give a few words to my partners Sergio and Tim to talk about themselves, and then we can go from there. Tim, hello.
I'm here. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tim Lovelace. As mentioned earlier, I live here in Texas. I'm just north of the Houston area and just a few hours south of this property. So I've been down here over 15 years, and I've built a single family real estate portfolio here. I'm also a limited partner in just shy of 500 units, both here in the Houston area as well as in Georgia. Um, and I've been working with Sergio and Roman for a handful of years. And basically, in my roles and responsibility, business and marketing. So that's just kind of myself in a nutshell.
Mhm. Thank you. Sergio, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sergio. I'm in York, Pennsylvania, so southern Pennsylvania, right above the Maryland line. So what I do day to day is I'm a real estate broker. I have a team of 30 agents, and we broker small multifamily deals. I have a portfolio myself, mainly commercial, retail, but I do have some small multifamily buildings. Roman and I own a building in Maryland. And this is what I do full time. So I'm just helping clients, or managing my own portfolio day to day. I've been working with Roman for about 7 or 8 years now. I was his broker, and he kind of got me into the multifamily syndication world. So I've been doing that with Roman and Tim for about 3 years now, and we're just trying to accumulate more units. So this is the next deal that we have in our pipeline.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. And Alex, if you want to say a few words about yourself. So most of people know about you, but quite few people don't.
Sure, sure, sure. I mean, that's part of the pitch deck, but it's okay. I'm a full-time investor. So I did like 12 single-family house development. So I was basically buying the land and doing ground-up construction with creating finance with the partner up with other people, and I was able to run those construction sites with my great partners. So. As well if I did like 11 fixed flips for 2.5 years. And I personally board member of 42 apartment complex in New York. And my responsibility over there, I'm taking the role of running all the construction part of the building, as well as like permits and et cetera, et cetera. And I'm in the construction industry since like 18 years old. I was general manager in a superstructure company for 11 years. And then I had my own construction company for 5 years. And I was always passionate about real estate. And that's how I literally transitioned to multifamily apartment complexes. So here I am. Welcome. Pretty much it for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, moving along. So I would like to show at least a few properties that represents our track records. That's what we do. That's type of property we like to acquire. Normally, it will be Class C property in Class C areas. I specifically, we put on this presentation properties in Illinois. It's more or less representation of what we do. As we said before, the size of the property is from 20 to 60 units. That's what we do in our presence is in Texas, Pennsylvania, and Illinois. Again and again, I would like to emphasize that you want to deal with the people who fully dedicated, who have full time, not part time, in real estate investors. Getting specific to the deal, it's located in Texarkana. It's not primary market. It's not secondary market. It's a treasury market in Texas, right on the border between Texas and Arkansas. And that's probably the name come from, Texarkana. We're looking for our investors to put down at least minimum $50,000, and it's an appropriate amount to initial investment. If anyone wants to do more than that, we're very welcome. In our history, average check between $75,000 to $100,000 from any investors. So the property is 22 units comprised of 11 one-bedroom apartments, one bathrooms. Not only 11 units originally rented out to year-over-year leases tenants. They have another 3 units, one-bedroom apartments, and the current owner using it for Airbnb. Also, 8 units and 2-bedroom, one-bathroom apartments. For the future reference, we don't think that using Airbnb as a source of income will be appropriate for this particular property. A simple reason, because Texarkana, it's not destination point. The people might be using that for different reasons. Instead of being in hotel, they use short stay in Airbnb, and it might create some kind of problem for other people, for other residents, and we don't want that to happen. So we, in agreement between our team, our GP, that we will be using it as a year-round or long-term stay. And the management company also agreed to that. Plus, on the top of it, the lender will not calculate income from Airbnb as a source of income, because Airbnb is not real estate, is a business. So the purchase price of this property is $1.35 million. Our underwriting is based on certain criteria. We use 30% down, and we can we cannot promise anything in this business. We can offer about 7% rate of return day one, with annualized rate of return ARR about 25 or better. We're looking to raise about 550 for this particular deal. It's not the biggest raise. We do have a few soft commitment from different people. We have already structure. The property will be owned by the single purpose entity, SPE, that we already formed, and it's formed in the state of Texas. And we also have operating agreement that we will offer to everyone who wants to be part of that. For those who don't have any experience in real estate, owning real estate has specific tax benefits that I don't want to spend time, because I'm not professional in tax benefits and tax and accounting. That's why we pay money to our accountant. Usually, and everyone wants to talk to the advisor on that time, and specifically if people have accountant who specialize in real estate, that would be really beneficial. But one of the tax benefits is cost segregation, and quite a few people don't know about that. It's accelerated depreciation. That's what it is. So basically, it's giving opportunity to defer to pay less taxes during holding period. We did our underwriting based on 5-year holding period. Everything possible, everything can change, and we're not holding hard to holding period of 5 years. Certain improvements been done to the property. At least most expensive is new roof done in 2022, and it's what we're trying to present here is a stability of investment. Our analysis, our underwriting is based on 10% vacancy, even though that right now it's running between 95 to 100% occupancy. So capital sources and uses, that's how money will be used. we're using 30% for down payment, about 2.5% for closing cost, loan points 1%, and I just want to come back to that idea. And requirements from the lender, we should have at least 1 year of insurance policy payment day one. Our acquisition fee is 3%. Usually we not taking it as at the time of a closing. That money will go back, most likely it will go back to the deal, and it will be played as a limited partner money. We allocated very little of to initial capex for small repair works. If you can see the picture on the right side, maybe we can improve a little bit of the parking area, but it's plenty of parking, and it's no lack of parking on the streets as well. The property located right here, red button, and you can see how close that to Arkansas. Even the city hall, it has two different address in the city of Texarkana, and we were confused when we visit the property, because in city hall people asking, which city hall you looking for, Texas or Arkansas? So that was interesting. The one interesting part, it's all the only post office in entire United States that serves two states. That's kind of fun part of it. It has a great high school. It has Hilton Garden, a nice hotel. It has Walmarts, all activities, small restaurants, and expansion of healthcare. So it's located in heart of Texarkana, and it's not that far from the major highway number 30. Looking at the overview of entire market, and we used AI for that and all other sources, it does look good. Our underwriting is more strict that forecast looks like. Our occupancy based on 90%, even though it shows a little bit more than that. Rent growth, we included 3%. Operational expenses, about 5-6%. That's what we included in our underwriting. It is a stable market with intention to modest growth. We also included in our underwriting following critical points. We confirmed in City Hall. We've been there personally. Me and Sergio, we visit City Hall. We confirmed that our insurance will be about 20% higher, and we include that one in our underwriting. Property taxes will also include 20% higher than what they're paying right now. For this particular property, we're not looking to use any payrolls. Management company can manage the property without assigning any specific person to the property. Utilities also considered as a 4% year-over-year growth. Looking at the income, because every investor is actually looking for income, how they're gonna get the money back and what kind of income they're looking for. Actually, we can offer two types of investors: Class A and Class A, Class B, or Class A1 and Class A2. The first one is without equity. It's based this presentation based on $100,000 for simplifying calculation. We can offer up to 9% cash on cash return for all holding period. So basically, people will get $45,000. They will return the initial investment plus $45,000. So altogether, $145,000. With equity, we can offer 7%, which translates into $35,000. And based on our underwriting and selling, the termination rate at 6.57%, so we can distribute the extra money at the sale, and all number will look slight difference. It's a little bit more than $200,000 versus $145,000. So that's the difference with and without equity. like I said, Texas is friendly state, so eviction is the biggest problem and shouldn't take more than a month to evict any person. Healthy market. There are small markets in Texas performing much better than major markets like Dallas and Houston. The small markets is a little bit better in the terms of cash on cash return. I mentioned again and again that our underwriting was more conservative than the current market. And we never violate any laws. Nobody ever sue us, and hopefully we can keep it the same way. So the way how we're going to operate with investors, we have quarterly Zoom calls, emails on demands. We will pay quarterly distribution. We're trying to stay away from monthly. It doesn't benefit anyone. We will do performance review. We can get on the Zoom at any given times since we're doing this full time. And asset management review also quarterly. The way how you can reach us, it's basically my phone numbers and the QR code should lead to deal rooms if you have any more questions, and you can check it out. It should work actually. I didn't check yesterday lately, but and after all, it might be a little bit of confusion. Wellness Holdings, it's not the company that will own the property. Wellness Holdings is our marketing company. You can check it online, wellnessholding.com. The name of the company is different. I forget. Triple Bar Investment, right? So we have all that documentation has been done. So at this point, I would like to stop. And if anyone wants to add anything on my team, or we're open for any questions that you might have.
Yeah, I just want to add something, Roman. One additional thing specific to the property is we've hired a local property management company in Texarkana that will handle all operations for the property. And that company has already walked the property with Roman and Sergio. And so,
Yeah, thank you. And also on financial side, I promise that I will get back to the number of points for broker points. In this case, we're not going to pay almost $10,000 because we are using the same lender that currently holds a mortgage on the property. It's a local credit union, and it's going to cost us for application fee, and we paid it already, like $1,000. To be transparent, at this point, all GP already put more than $35,000 into the deal, and this money already got hard, meaning that if we will not close, the money will stay with the seller. So that money at risk, we cannot use other people's money, we're using our own money. And we have quite a few people just interested, so a few spots open, and we should be closing in October.
A real quick question, if I may. The annual for each individual's tax they'll be going to be sending out a typical K1, or is it based on a 1099?
K1. That will be
It's all K1.
Right.
So each one will have their own respectable
Absolutely.
portion of depreciation and
Absolutely.
depreciation,
And
interest deductions.
And all taxes will be done based on cost segregation study that we will provide to our accountant.
Okay, so then we get that. Well, that was my follow-up to that. We'll get a copy of the cost seg with that as well, so we can provide it with our accountant as well. Okay, all right.
From experience that we have, cost segregation study for this size property might cost between $3,000 to $4,000, but that's fine. That's justifiable.
Yes. Yeah. Got it. Wonderful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Any other questions?
All right, folks. I think that's the time. Whatever you have in the heads or questions, there is no such thing as stupid question. They're all smart. Whatever is like circulating in the back of the heads. Now it's time to get rid of it. spit it out, and get your answer, because the idea is the business we conduct, it's all about transparency. It's all about being clear with each other and answer as much questions as we can to you folks. So
Oh,
please
okay.
step in and go ahead, throw it out. Right now, that's the time. Because I
Okay.
had a lot of phone calls, and they're asking questions. I was like, just wait for the Zoom and spit it out, because maybe you're afraid of asking the question now and you think, oh, listen, I don't want to look bad. Trust me. The question you had in your head, there's another people with the same question. They're just afraid kind of just to throw it out. So go ahead, right now it's a prime time.
Okay, then one other question we got. Is this debt recourse or non-recourse?
That will be full recourse mortgage, but GP will be on the loan, LP will not be on the loan. So no personal liability on your side.
For the LP, and you said the LP's return is going to be how much again?
If it's on with equity, we can structure it 7% cash on cash day one, and about 20-25% ARR based on 5 years hold.
5-year hold. Okay, thank you.
Which is not bad. And people who might be comparing and thinking that why I should put money if I have money in the stock market. The only thing that might be different between real estate and stock market is liquidity. Obviously, you cannot sell your property in one day, where you can unload your stocks in one day. But on the other hand, you have to pay taxes on any capital gain from the stock market. And think about it as if you in stock market, think about it, the cash on cash return is your dividends. And the final payout, it's at the end. That's how we can structure.
Did you actually on your exit strategy? So if I refer back to that chart, that was you're going to exit at a 6.5 cap.
Yeah, let me just get back to that. Just a second. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, it's a 6 termination rate for Class A, 6.5.
So 6.5 cap on exit.
Right.
And right now and you're buying it right now at a 9.
I mean, a little bit better than 9.
A little bit better than 9. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's respectable. And then the market right now, the market is what? What's the going cap rate?
Cap rate at this time, it shows 9.5.
Is that what the market cap rate is at this time, or is that's what you're buying this property for? What's the market cap rate in this
That's
area?
basically market. We're buying it a little better than this. And if you can look at the bottom right corner, that's AI results of analysis based on 38 public internet sources. If anyone interested in seeing quick look on our underwriter, I can show that as well. So we're basically close to 11% actually.
I see. Okay. Very good.
And the reason why seller is basically unloading that, she's been in real estate. She's a realtor for 35 years, and she just wants to move out. She wants to move and she has property in Texas, and she lives in Arkansas. So she get the money, and probably her idea to do this different business or move somewhere else. We met her a couple times.
And is there any other deferred maintenance on the property?
No, we already went through inspection, and we presented a list of items that needs to be covered. And as of right now, all that deferred maintenance been done, completed.
Yeah,
So
we had a long list of repairs that we submitted to them, and they agreed to make all the repairs.
Wow, that's huge.
Excellent.
yep, that's why
That's huge.
that's why we're saying it's not really value add opportunity where you can look in 3-4 quarters to raise capital, to raise the rent by 20% or whatever. It's a stability. So this is a stable asset, and that's the first asset that is in Texas, will give us and open us the window and doors to the entire market, because I already spoke with the broker. By accident, one of our guests is Kim. She is also part of community, and she found a deal in Oklahoma, right, Kim? Yeah, and we start talking with the broker, and I spoke with the broker and said, "Look, Mr. Broker, let me talk about myself, what I'm doing. We're currently under contract in the Texas, a small size city of Texarkana." And he said, "Roman, stop for a second. You don't have to continue to do this, because I know about you everything, because this is my agency who sells that property." So it's a small world.
Very small.
Yeah, Kim is in Kansas. The broker is somewhere in Texas or Oklahoma. I'm in New York. We're looking for property in Texas.
Hey, Roman, I think we have a question here in the chat. I'll read it out to you.
Sure.
Hi, this is my first time thinking about investing in such a big project. Can you please explain briefly how we can pay taxes on the percentage we get yearly or after 5 years? So I guess what are the tax implications of the cash flow or distribution?
It's not that I don't want to answer that question. Maybe someone want to, but I'm not an expert in how you work in, because it will be based on your personal income. If you work in 9 to 5, the income that you make in real estate might offset your personal income, but I don't know your specifics, and you just probably better off talking to your accountant. I cannot do any professional recommendation, and I believe none of us can do that.
I can explain a little bit. So basically, we're gonna get K1. I'm an accountant. Hi, my name is Rita. Margarita. Yeah. So basically, you're gonna get K1, and normally real estate K1 gonna report real estate income, and I would say depreciation, the biggest expense, and it can be net, can result in income or loss, depends. And this amount what's reported on K1 gonna be picked up on your individual tax return, and it's gonna be taxed. Ordinary rental income, it's ordinary gain, gonna be taxed as ordinary rate. So it's usually depends on your regular rate from, I don't know, 15 to maximum 37, and depreciation gonna offset it. Distributions are not taxable, so whatever amount of distribution is received, taking into consideration that you have basis, that you have original contribution and maybe loan, so it's not taxable unless it's in excess of your capital contributions. And by the end, when you're going to sell the property, normally it's going to end up in 1231 gain. It's basically a capital gain that taxed at 15 or 20%, again, depending on your gross income, adjusted gross income. And that's it. But yes, and the property is located in Texas, so there are no tax in Texas. So basically no additional state filing, no, only federal. And definitely all income is subject to your main resident state, in our case, New York, for example. So you have to file the same state you file usually, and federal. And you paying taxes on total what's reported on K1. Yeah, it's taxable.
And
Again,
also
depending. So, but normally depreciation expense is huge for rental real estate. So I wouldn't expect huge income every year. Income will be after they sell the property. It's going to end up in decent amount of, again, it's your percentage, basically how much you invest. It's your total percentage of total. Like you form this LLC, correct?
correct, it's
This is
LLC.
what you mentioned. Okay, so basically you have like ownership. I don't know if you invest 50,000 over total, what's going to be its percentage. And LLC gonna, as a partnership, gonna file tax return, gonna report total rental income, total depreciation, total expenses, and then this amount gonna be shared among all of us, percentage-wise, and everyone is getting this small portion of rental income, some expenses, and distributions are gonna be reported on K1 also, but not taxable. And by the end, and keep in mind, all depreciation expense, it's subject to recapture. So basically, when property is sold in 5 years from now, for example, you get in capital gain and all depreciation taken, it's recaptured in higher rate. It's a little bit, but again, just different tax rate, not capital rate, a little bit higher. Because now you're taking basically advantage of depreciating assets. Yeah, it's like it's reducing your, or it's an ordinary rate. So when you're selling the property, it's recaptured a little bit higher, not like 15 or 20%. That's the structure how usually normal rental property operates. And 5 years, it's a normal period for holding the property. And I would tell you, I'm handling a lot of real estate entity. Again, I'm preparing tax return for rental entities. And it's very seldom when you can see, like normally it's success business. And I would say, yeah, I have very seldom you can see something like, I don't know, completely loss or like,
Yep.
I don't know, I haven't seen. Yeah,
And
normally.
thank you,
Yeah.
Rita. Thank you very much. And on top of it, maybe for those who don't know, maybe
Right.
people can use 1031 exchange as well to defer taxes.
Correct. Not to recognize gain, you can exchange it for similar property. There are some requirements that have to be met. You need professional to do it. It's very strict. It's supposed to be period and all. But yes, it's if you don't want to pay tax on this amount when you're selling the property, you're giving, I don't know, 90 days or something. You have to find similar property, and yeah, you can defer this gain till next one, and you can do it several times.
Thank you very much. So anyone who has any tax question, good thing that we have Rita today. Maybe she can help you to do your
Not
next
the
year
best
tax.
time of the year now for accountants.
All right.
Margarita, thank you so much for your stepping in to answer the questions regarding taxes. Quick description. Margarita, that's the person I know like personally, like in life, and she actually, I mean, I just wanna brought some information about her. She does actually accounting for the syndicators. So she's been seen. I mean, Roman, we had a conversation. I had like we spoke about Margarita. She does the accounting for syndicators, and she's well known how the kitchen works, and she was always one of the persons. She was like, listen, I do see how the big guys making the money, and
They never invest. Correct. It's true. So
absolutely.
I'm working for CPA office and I have plenty of clients, a lot of them real estate clients. And yes, I do see how it works, output. I see K1 produced. I see how it grows. I see like how much was invested and for how much it was sold eventually. Yes, but I don't have investor experience. So if I'm joining, it's going to be my first time. Correct.
Thank you very much. I can see that Angelica has a question. To raise hand. Just unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Wonderful Zoom, awesome group, great work, very impressive. My question is, I know you spoke about it a little bit, but can you just maybe repeat or go back into the details about the legal structure of the company? So you are looking for LP, correct? If I understand correctly,
That's
who
right.
is JP? What's the company? And you mentioned that LP will not be responsible for the loan. A
Right.
little bit more on that legal topic,
Okay.
please.
All right. Well, great. Good questions. And actually, it's easy to answer. Because the size of the property is 1 point, we're not doing full size syndication. We're not producing PPM, private placement memorandum. And I consulted with attorney in Texas. He said probably you don't need that because it's not only that it's going to cost too much money, but it's not going to protect too much more than operating agreement that I will be preparing. And then he already completed it. The structure is the property will be owned by the LLC. The investors will be limited partners, and our group, 3 or 4 people, will be a general partners. The split on equity between LP and GP, it's a 70-30. So 70% of equity belongs to LP and 30% to GPs on equities. I guess that's as clear as I can do. Let's say if you to make an example, if you will put $100,000 and we offer you 7% cash on cash, so your cash flow will be $7,000 a year, but your $100,000 will represent 70% of the equity. I don't know if it's clear enough. Maybe I can ask Rita. Maybe she can explain a little bit better.
So basically, I think you formed LLC, but LLC gonna be taxed as partnership. We all gonna be limited partners. Yes, and so what was the question again? Yeah, limited partners. Yeah, and you getting percentage, but you said 70% among limited partners and 30% among partners.
On equity, right? On equity.
And 7% preferred. So basically,
7% preferred.
first you're giving us 7% from cash flow, no matter what, and then remaining it's gonna be subject to I don't know what waterfall you have, like I don't know after this, but we're getting preferred 7% no matter what. It's distribution and it's quarterly, correct?
Absolutely.
And
And
the
that's
general
exactly what the point. The limited partners will get distribution first. So no matter after all expenses, we will pay our distribution to investors. Whatever left, it will be equal to 7% of our equity if we will reach that point. So it will be dedicated to GP.
Yeah, and just to mention partnership, I'm sorry, partnership itself, it doesn't pay taxes. So basically the partnership files tax return, reports all income and expenses, distribution and some other, but it doesn't pay any taxes. And basically everything, all income and expenses just passed to investor.
Yeah. Passing through, right?
Correct, pass through entity, correct. And we, as a limited partners or general partners, responsible for picking up this income, expenses definitely on our individual return, okay? And you mentioned before, for example, if it's ordinary loss, I don't know, rental in this case, it can offset something else. Like, it's a little bit too complicated. I'm not going to go into it. And there is differences in depreciation between federal and state. So, for example, it's like big federal depreciation, but it can be added back. It's different timing, I would say. It can be different depreciation on federal and state tax return. Keep it in mind. For example, federal can show big depreciation and state won't allow it this particular year. It can be added back. It can be, for example, higher tax on your state. But eventually it's a timing difference. It's gonna kind of even up. Okay, but yeah, it's.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Sergio, you want to add some?
I just thought part of that question I think asked about how the personal guarantee works, and just the general partnership will be signing the personal guarantee with the lending institution.
Yeah, and the reason not because we want to make more responsibility and put more responsibility on ourselves, but in commercial real estate world, non-recourse mortgages basically means that no personal liability, but the amount of loan has to be more than $1 million. So in this particular case, because the size of the property, the loan will be less than $1 million, and that's the reason why we have to put our own names. Honestly, it's much easier to get mortgage for $5 million than for $1.3 million because of that. Because if you're doing non-recourse mortgage, it doesn't matter what your income is. It doesn't matter what you're making in your life. It's not related to you. That's related only to the property, how that property performs. That's it. But unfortunately, in this case, we cannot squeeze non-recourse mortgage. So we will have full recourse. But on the other hand, it's easier to handle because it's a local credit union. It's not an agency loan. It's not Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. At this point, we have secured at least 2 months ago, they agreed to 6.9% interest. And we're looking between 25-30% down, basically. And that's what our underwriting based on. Yeah.
Are you considering refinancing, like, I don't know,
usually our personal rule of thumb, if the interest rate will drop more than 1%,
more than one,
it will make sense to refinance. So that's personal experience. It shows that money spent on refinancing will be quite appreciated in short term.
Are you guys, what is it? Is it a fixed and an adjustable for
That's
your
fixed.
term?
That's a fixed rate.
Fixed for how long? No.
Between
5 years, 7 years?
fixed 10 years.
A 10-year fixed. Oh, okay. So it's going to be, you don't have to worry. You got that fixed expense for the whole period, basically. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Good.
And that's amortized over 20, I think, Roman?
25 or 30.
Okay, yeah, it's long amortization.
We have to see if the final paperwork. Right now we waiting for appraisal to come back to credit union, and after that we're ready to close. All right.
Roman, so when you say JP will have personal guarantee with the lender, LLC itself will not have a guarantee with the lender, correct?
No, it's all passing through the actual members, GP members. Our names are going to be on them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So is it, so the GPs are having a preferred return? Is that my understanding?
Yep. GP.
So what's
LP
the preferred return?
preferred return 7% year over year.
So, okay, so the LPs are, what type of return are they going to be getting? 6.5?
No, LP is having preferred return.
LP 7%. GP, whatever will be left after all expenses and paying you first. Our underwriting shows that we probably can get to 7%, the same 7% year two.
So it'd be 7% to the LPs, then it would pass 7% to the GPs, and then it would be split according to equity after that on the 15th%.
I see. Okay.
Is there? I have a question from Luke. Is there a possibility of capital call? If so, how it will be handled? That's a great question with a not pleasant answer, I would say. Capital call, for those who don't know, it's if property doesn't work well, the GP will have to call investors and ask for extra money. In my professional life that I'm doing it, I never ever ask for capital call, and that's why I was trying to emphasize on idea that we never lost investors' money. In a few deals that we have cash flow problems, I'm putting my own money. My partners put in all money just to cover those expenses because we can recapture it later. But the capital call, yeah, it's not a pleasant call. It's not the call that everyone wants to hear. But from what I see, we're not at that stage, and we took our underwriting considerably conservative. So stress test analysis maybe we'll have to do a little bit. If you want to ask me, we did it. What the break-even point basically, if everything will go wrong. So the break-even points, the occupancy should be around 80%. And basically 80% physical and economic vacancy. So it's not bad. It's not bad at all. All right. Anyone else? We're having a good conversation, touching base on a lot of different subjects.
I have a question. Maybe you already answered at the beginning. Where are you in the timeline? So you're in escrow, you have a loan, like what is step by step from now on?
Okay. We signed the contract. I forget, Tim, Sergio, do you remember when we signed the contract?
Let me pull it up here.
Yeah, it's like probably more than 30 days already. So how that works, you have due diligence time when you signed in the contract, PSA, when you sign in PSA, purchase sales agreement, you have certain amount of time for due diligence. In this particular case, we had 30 days due diligence, and that's where you have to put money between 1% to 2% to, technically speaking, to buy the contract. So we spent 30 days. We had some discrepancy. We asked for more time for due diligence. While right now we're in the second round of extension, and another 30 days should expire probably beginning of October. And the salary doesn't really forcing us to do anything because she knows that we're working diligently. And she knows that we're working with her own lenders. And right now it depends on the lending side. So we should be able to close if we will be able to raise all capital beginning of October. If everything goes, if something goes wrong, we will ask for another extension for another 30 days, and we will put another 15,000 on the top of earnest money deposit. It's called EMD, earnest money deposit. They will be getting hard, meaning that we and the risk of losing our own money on this. And we're not in business of losing money on every deal that we're signing. Believe me, it's not what we're looking for. And to make sure that you feel comfortable, acquisition fee. Not a lot of people, but some people use an acquisition fee to get that 3% and run away, and it doesn't give investors nice and warm feeling about how people operate in that. That's the reason why I said we never took our acquisition fee. It's always back into the business. So we're not running away. And we run in the business where not only LP will make money, we're running it to make money for ourselves. It's no secret. We're not working for free.
Looks like we went under contract 8/12.
8/12. Okay, August 12th. We paid for inspection about 3,500 altogether, plus expenses on flying in and out, plus staying there, plus 30,000 on our own money to put in EMD. So we deep into this property already.
Yeah, it's probably worth to note that closing is early October if an extension is not needed. So
So we have few people who already soft committed. They were waiting for us to form the LLC and create the operating agreement. That was done last week. So now we can legally ask people to commit into the bank accounts.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
How much money do you need to raise at this point?
Overall, we're looking about 550 altogether.
That's the total raise.
Yeah, total.
550.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So with respect to your welcome raise to the tenants there, what is the process for evictions, or what is the rent control process for Texarkana? I'm not familiar with that. Can you speak to that a little bit? Is there a certain amount that can be raised off the bat? What's the limit? I heard you said you got about a month for eviction, which is fantastic if you got to evict somebody.
Tell me
Here in
about it.
California,
I'm living in New York.
it's terrible.
I'm living in New York. You have to pay to get rid of people.
Yeah, I know we have to pay. I mean, it's terrible out here in California. So if you can speak to the processes, I don't know if everyone knows about
yeah,
Texas.
Texas law requires a 30-day notice of eviction across the state. So it's 30 days. You know, you try and minimize delinquency. And it's a landlord-friendly state. So there's obviously some protections on tenants, but not in so much as to keeping them an extended stay past the notice. So and the eviction would be taken care of from the property management company. And
Okay.
so
And then, so what's your raise when you can go in there and take over? Like here, we can do a very minor, what we call it here in California, it's a nuisance raise. What's the raise that you can effectively go basically day one with your tenants?
Don't think there's any restrictions on that. And I know here in Pennsylvania, we don't have any restrictions.
No.
In my area, there's no rent control or anything like that.
Wonderful. How friendly is that? Wow.
Yeah, right?
That's awesome.
Just on the side, I have properties in Poconos and mountains, and one of my tenants had to be evicted, and I knew that Pennsylvania per se is not so landlord-friendly state, but I was surprised. I filed for eviction in the county. I get back home the same day in the evening. I was getting court day 12 days from the filing. I showed up in 12 days, and my tenant showed up with a bunch of kids that using them as a justification for not paying. But judge said, come on, the person wants to just have his mortgage paid, so you out. So I had record in 12 days in Pennsylvania.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, my personal record. We're even in Chicago, we're having properties, and we finally get rid of one person. Probably 6 months.
Wow. We had about a year here.
In New York,
A
it
year in
takes forever.
California.
Takes forever.
Yeah.
I have a question
Yeah.
about Pennsylvania. In the past, when did this change? That you weren't allowed to evict a tenant anywhere in the winter months. It's from October to April.
It's exactly what happened in Illinois. Rent freeze and eviction freeze. That's what they do. I'm not sure right now if Pennsylvania has the same rule, but they do have that rule in Illinois, and definitely it's not affected Texas for obvious reasons. But yeah, it is the eviction freeze was applied in October of last year till end of February, so you cannot do anything.
Yeah, as far as I know, Pennsylvania does not have that anymore. I manage about 150 units here in York, Lancaster, and we do evictions all year round.
Go wrong with that in your area, it's 1, 2, 3 down.
Yeah, eviction is the biggest hurdle in real estate. That's why everyone wants to be in landlord-friendly state. But my idea, if you cannot, people living everywhere, not landlord-friendly state, they live in tenant-friendly state. And like I said, if people live in tenant-friendly state, the state should pay for that. What I really mean that I'm using more subsidies than open market rents. So Section 8 and all other subsidies, at least it will cover our expenses. And dealing with tenant-friendly states, the subsidies are really opens up as a potential source of income. If you like bureaucracy, Section 8 is a great place to be.
For sure. Guarantee paycheck.
Yep. Guarantee paycheck and guarantee inspection once a year.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let me ask you this: Are you guys are your rents compatible with Section 8 tenants?
Section 8 tenants actually getting a little bit more than market rent.
So are you guys going to market this unit for Section 8? You're going to accept Section 8 tenants here?
We have 1 or 2 Section 8 tenants right now. I don't know if we want to extend that. We're good with that as of right now. We will see how that will go.
Okay.
But we're not opposed on Section 8 or any other subsidies. But it's quite huge number of different subsidies that can be used.
Yeah, I would just add that the market is strong down here to where we might, well, mainly would not have to entertain Section 8 tenants moving forward. Just due to the amount of job market and jobs moving down here. So, not to say that we don't consider it, but as I said, it's quite strong down here that we can get a full-time non-Section 8 tenant.
Yep. Yep. Mhm. We can touch anything else that you want to touch on.
You know what? Seems like it's not so many questions, so I'm gonna shake the group. All right.
Start singing.
Let's pretend I'm on another side, right? And I'm going to talk to the group from the group side. All right. What's the plan on the property we purchased, and that's we moving. What's the idea? What we doing?
Right, next step, the people that Alex invited to this one, it will be much better if the people who wants to invest will be communicated through Alex, just communicate directly to him. And if you will express any desire to do that, we can get directly to you and provide all information, all operating agreements, account numbers, structures, and everything else. So you can safely deposit your money as a commitment. That's the next step. So by the time that we're ready to close, we will have full amount of capital to close that deal. But for those that not invited by Alex, I will be handling that the same thing. So if anyone interested, I will be handling that. And
Let me
one
ask
of
you
us,
this.
Sergio, our team can do that as well.
Do you have the money ready to close in the event that you don't meet the raise?
We can, the minimum amount that we can, we have to close at, probably between 430 to 450. That's
Okay, but
at
you
this,
have that capital already.
not all of that. We have probably, if we can see, probably 200 in soft commit plus our own money, about another 50 to 75.
Okay.
So, by other words, it's not really a big gap which left for us to,
Yeah.
bring the investor. So, and from the way you guys see it, the property is moving, the closing in the second week of October.
We're moving
So,
along. We're
yeah.
doing our marketing every day, all day long.
Correct. If you guys interested, I mean, you do see the numbers. That's why, like, basically, any questions about the numbers, about cash flow, about AR и так далее, and etc. I'm sorry, like I was like switching the languages. Sometimes like I'm talking to too many people a day with like a mix Russian language, English. It's like crazy. My brain operates like it's switching by itself. Not even control it. That's the crazy part. So anyway, back to the story. So as I said, like the closing around the corner, like you see the deal, the numbers right there. We all here right now. We're on your best behalf here to answer the questions. Any more questions about like how the cash flow is gonna go? What kind of distribution is gonna be? Return of investment, guys, speak it up. We don't really have too much time. I mean, we're not like particularly about this deal. We're not like we're gonna have way much more in the future, but right now that's the numbers right there, and from my experience, great numbers. I mean, if you disagree, welcome to express your thinking. Go ahead.
Yeah. This year, basically, it's a year when we can start again because for the last year and a half, we didn't buy anything. It didn't make sense at all. We couldn't find any properties that will make sense. I personally, I did probably more than 100 underwriting, talking to 100 different brokers, dealing with 100 different properties. And my guys, Tim and Sergio, did the same thing. So this year seems to be a little bit better in terms of acquisitions.
Yeah, and I think our agreed vision is that we'd like to close on this property on time, and we'd like to bring it up to the standard that we want it to be at, and then raise rents year over year watch the market, and hope the market kind of moves in our favor to evaluate refinance in year three. And then hopefully within the time, go on and, whoever partners up with us to go on to other deals. So kind of snowball effect, right? Depending on what your situation is. But
And
the what we've found is that it's an opportunity here in this niche in these sort of mid-sized properties, right? They're not the 200 plus class A, but they're located in areas where people want to live, right? So a lot of these new buildings are built farther out of cities, right, due to land, that sort of stuff. So that's our target and our vision moving forward. And so we'd like to bring those on as partners with us to do that. So
And in addition to the team's point, talking on another deal with Kim and another broker, he literally say, Roman, if your team will close in Texarkana, it will be different type of relationship. So you have preferred package, like people always looking for off market deals. It's by the way, it's not always the greatest deal, but at least you have to you have options to take a first look. So he said it opens up a lot of different opportunities and a lot of different properties. And right now we're looking with these brokers for another deal for 50 units. And if that will go, and we basically want to occupy a little bit. No, it's hard to occupy Texas, but a little bit expand our presence in the Texas. All right.
Roman, do you have the link to the deal room that we can drop in the chat? Because I'm sure once everybody looks at our deal room and all the docs, they might have some more questions that they can reach out to us.
Let me see if I can generate it. Just a second. Let me just.
We have our underwriting in there. I believe the inspection reports are in there too. So when you guys look that over, if you have any other questions, you can just email Roman with whatever your questions are.
Let me just see.
Is this a war room or is this a Dropbox?
It's more of a Dropbox, I believe, Roman, right?
Let me share this one. It's like deal room with all that information. It has two. Check, hold on 1 second. It has two properties that one of them we pulled out because, but we always can get back to that. But I don't want to touch that one today. So if anyone wants to take a look on the deal room, it's from Velas Holding. Sergio put all the information there.
You're
So
gonna need to register to create an account with your
Just-
username and password.
yeah, it doesn't cost you anything. Just create an account and you will have access to that.
Roman, maybe
Can you
it's
put that in chat or something?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay.
Hey, Roman, I was just going to ask, maybe it's safe to say whether or not we're accepting 1031 exchanges.
We are. It's a little bit will complicate a little bit the whole structure because 1031 exchange has to be held separately and as tenants in
Right.
common. It's a little bit more work on our side, but yes, we can accept money. Our attorney will have a little bit more work and a little bit more paycheck. Yeah. 1031 exchange is 1031 is an IRS code number that allows you to defer payments in taxes
Capital gains.
on capital gain. So it's deferred payments on the taxes. Am I right?
It must be putting something of equal or greater value, right?
Yeah. And a lot of people, a lot of investors, including myself, and I know Sergio and Tim, I use that all the time.
I would say too that there's another avenue where you can do a self-directed IRA. But that I would check if you have a self-directed IRA that can do that. It's where you can take monies out of, or if you have monies in your IRA and invest into real estate as a limited partner.
Yeah, I would
Oh.
recommend people who are interested in that just take a look at it's in any open source. You will find a lot of information on 1031 exchange.
Or self-directed IRA as well.
Self-directed IRA, that is another source of do. Or if you're not working for corporation and you working on by yourself, you can open another type of IRA account. It's called solo 401k. It's similar to IRA account, but it has a little bit more flexibility. I have that one, so out of that solo 401k, I bought another property in Pennsylvania. Good thing about it, if
yeah.
you're buying it under $250,000, you don't have to report it. And beauty of it, all rent that you collect and go back to your 401k. You don't want to violate that rule. So it's your pension plan, so you will accumulate money as a pension. Again, I would stay away from recommending anything because I'm not expert in that.
Whole idea just to shoot it out at the end of the answer.
I don't want to be sued.
Absolutely.
The orange is not good color for me.
Yeah, it just be recommended if you do to speak with a tax professional to make sure that you're tax protected or
All right. So we have time. We have time frame. Please let us know if it will work for you. That will be great, so we can start working together and move to next step, next step, next step. Actually, I don't know what retirement means because I'm always doing this.
Thank you so much for all this information. We were waiting for numbers. We got it. Thank you. Questions answered.
Thank you.
Now-
That's interesting.
just one thing. There's a question here. When is the deadline to let either Roman or Alex know?
Yeah. You can choose your own time. We cannot force you. I will just outline when we can come up to the table in the last day before closing, if someone want to put money in the last day. But I would rather prefer not to act in a panic mode. So we have probably a week or 10 days to be comfortable to close this.
Yeah. So bottom line, don't be surprised if you call like 5 days before the closing or 7 days before the closing and there is no spots left. You know, it's not like I'm forcing, I'm just explaining to you. I mean, the numbers are right out there. I mean, from my perspective, it's like a great numbers. So just
On starting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, me and another people will be attending so-called Ultimate Partnership because we're a member of our mentor community, where I have chance to present the deal. They usually gather in once a year. I'm a member of that, and I'm also mentor in that community as well. If anyone heard name Dave Lindell, that's the organization that he's organized many years ago. And I will be able to present that deal to about, usually it's between 600 to 1,000 people gathering throughout the country. And it's going to be in Dallas. So I will be back on Sunday night.
What is it called again?
RE Mentor.
R-E.
I'll
real
put it.
estate. Okay, yeah.
I think it's not the cheapest community ever. They actually charging you for education. I paid my education, my money. But it's good because you have to be part of community in real estate if you want to do this business, because it's a different crowd. People exchanging, people trying to help each other. That's all. People trying to extend hands if they share knowledge, and it's good. It's completely different from single families.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, like every person, like I was telling about this deal, etc., etc. I told them, I was like, listen, even if you're not ready now, at least jump on Zoom, get yourself educated. Knowledge is a power at this point as well.
I can put another name of another community that I'm part of, if you want to check it. One is a multifamily wealth nation, and another one is M1. M1 is Canadian company. Marcin Drost is one of those who organized that. He is very well known on the national stage. He invests in Canada and United States. Multifamily wealth nation is a nice boutique type of community that I'm also part of. They charging money, but they're not trying to sell you anything. It's kind of basically a community that exchange knowledge, and you have personal mentors for free, kind of, sort of. And it's good. So I'm not selling anything on those communities, but people who might be interested in that, you have to be part of any community to be able to communicate and be able to exchange and see who is doing what. After all, it's a small world. And that's why I said my reputation and reputation of our partners is more important than property itself. You can build reputation in years and you can lose it in 5 minutes. I'm kind of not afraid to share my knowledge and my contact information from my tenants to my management, from management, from our management to our partners. I have no problems with that. All right. Okay. I guess people got a little bit exhausted.
We're
Yeah.
good.
No, it's
Sounds
just
good.
as we're talking, something else pops up and something else comes up. So it's almost like you don't want to finish talking, you don't want to finish the meeting. But the meeting was really, really good.
In my case, you should stop me because I can talk about it all day long.
Well, thank you for that.
No problem. So any questions, you can address Alex, and he has all information, and he sent everyone the pitch deck, so you'll have my information as well.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very
Bye,
interesting.
everyone.
Great
Thank you, everybody,
project.
for your time.